In today's video, you're going to learn what the Ponziani Opening is, how to play it, and what the most common responses are against it in online chess. Now, the Ponziani Opening starts out with the move of e4 against e5. We're playing knight f3, putting pressure on that pawn. So far, so good, right? We're playing pretty mainline chess, but here we're playing the very rare and underrated option of c3, which will take, according to online chess, many of your opponents by surprise. Black just seems to not know what the heck to do with this. The most common move for Black is knight to f6, the Jaenisch Counterattack. This is actually a good move. And the whole idea there is that they're attacking the pawn on e4. Guess what? We don't care, though. Take the pawn all you want. We're going to continue forging ahead. The main line here, the best move for Black by far is bishop to c5. The only way you're going to find that is if you know the theory, and most don't. The most popular response in online chess is knight to e7. And by the way, if you do see bishop c5, I have other content on this channel covering that move. I have over a 4-hour course on the Ponziani Opening, which I cover that move. I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. But yeah, okay, let's go back to this knight e7 move. This is what I see in most of my games at the 2,000, 2,200 plus level online. And okay, and against that, we're just getting our pawn back. And d6, I see this all the time. Online chess, this is the most popular move. But the problem with d6 for Black is that it's just dead lost. We throw in a check here. If you block with the bishop, we take. Guess what? You got to give up your queen. If you play c6, we're just going to capture it right off. There's traps against capturing on e5. There's traps against queen b6. There's so much in the air here for white. And if you capture on c6, we're capturing back with the knight. If you want to take back, guess what? We're throwing in a check, capturing that knight on e4. We're going to be up 4 points of material, a full piece, and a pawn. And if queen b6 here, all right, let's throw a knight back, throw in a little check there. If you block with the bishop, we capture back, castle kingside. We're only up a pawn, which is, you know, a nice advantage. Being up a pawn generally decides most games at the higher levels. But all that to say, the engine says white is much better than just being up a pawn. I think the reason for that is that our king is very well tucked away, very safe. Their king, on the other hand, cannot castle, and it's on d7, protected by an isolated pawn. Black can resign this game pretty soon here. And okay, what's the second most popular move for Black? Well, bishop c5. This is also bad. I see this all the time. The reason it's bad is because we get to play our d4 move, the whole point of c3, with tempo against the bishop. This is just a terrible move for Black. Against takes, we're capturing back. If you throw in a check, we block with the knight. Black will often play knight f6 and castling kingside, but now we play e5. We are absolutely forging ahead in the center. We actually have a Greek gift here. And after knight g5, I mean, this position is, again, resignable for Black. The engine has a hard time deciding between king g8 or even just taking off the knight. Against that, we're going to capture back, and you can take on c3, right? You can take again. You can capture off our rook, but at the end of the day, you're still down 1 point in material. We have a queen, you don't. Right? This is a very hard position to play with from the Black side, and yeah, I mean, Stockfish, again, just says that white is completely crushing. I'm showing you the most popular options for Black against the Ponziani. And as we can see, most players just don't know what the heck to do with it. What's the third most popular move in online chess? d6. Also not a great move. I don't think this is a great idea for Black. I mean, we get a very nice center. Black will often capture and then play bishop g4. Let's play bishop e2. Solid move. If you want to take, our bishop is now protecting, and our queen can continue protecting the pawn on d4. Those centralized pawns wiping out half of the 5th rank on Black's side of the board. And if we see a move like knight f6, you can play h3, right? h3 there is actually the engine move. But if you want, you can play castling kingside. You still have a nice advantage here, and this gives Black the opportunity to fall into a chess opening trap by taking on e4. Because guess what? We're playing d5. I mean, if you don't want to move your knight, then thanks for the knight. If you do want to move your knight, we throw in a check. I don't care how you block, we're capturing on e4. We're simply winning here. We're up a piece for our pawn. And going back to c3, the fourth most popular move that we see in online chess is the move of pawn to d5. Against this takes a little bit of a special approach, right? I mean, against knight f6, we played d4. Against bishop c5, guess what? d4. Against d6, guess what? d4. Against d5, we're not playing d4, we're playing queen a4. And this is an added benefit of playing pawn to c3. Kind of similar to the check Pierce in a sense for the Black side. In the check Pierce, we play pawn to c6, looking to give that queen some mobility. By playing c3, we're neutralizing that knight, prepping d4, and our queen has some great options here. In this case, we're pinning the knight. Black usually takes on e4. Not a good move, though. We end up taking on e5, and against bishop d7, let's capture the bishop, take the pawn. We're up a pawn here. We're up a pawn. We could advance in the center. If you want to kick us around, let's play queen f3. You're not going to be able to kick us around anymore. And we're now going to continue with natural developmental chess, potentially move like bishop d3 and castling, you know, just developing our pieces here. We're up a pawn. We have a d pawn on d4 that our opponent just doesn't have. And white here with a great game. And again, going back to the move c3, there are better options that black can play against the Ponziani. But if you look at the stats, black usually doesn't play them. It's very rare that black knows what to do against the Ponziani opening. Ponziani opening, very strong. Again, I have a course on that. I also have a course on the Czech Pierce, which I mentioned earlier, which has some similar ideas from the black side. Not the exact same, I'll be completely honest, but some similar ideas. And because I just launched that 6+ hour course on the Czech Pierce, I'm giving out a 30% off discount code to those of you that are interested in it. Only good until the end of the month. All you got to do, go down in the description below. Go down to the description, plug in the discount code CzechPierce2024, and you will receive 30% off on that course. Only good until the end of this month. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think about the Ponziani opening. And remember, this is our 20th video on it, so you have plenty of other content that you can look at to look more in depth into those more complex lines. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for the month of September in 2024. I appreciate y'all a ton. It's been great getting to know you guys. And for those of you that haven't thought about joining the Patreon, there's some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And yeah, I mean, if you guys do join, I'm excited to start talking to you guys over on the platform. On top of that, guys, here's the thing. Look, it's September. Okay, it's September. There's only so much time left to get that Czech Pierce Defense course. Click the link. Click the freaking link. Plug in the discount code. Get your 30% off. Only good until the end of the month. And I'll see y'all. On the next video. Let's get it.